New features that our team is prescribing. The first one I've got up here is placeholders in the capacity plan. And if you're familiar with the resourcing tab inside of Asana, I'll show you here in a second when I flip over. You can now add placeholders in the capacity plan where you can assign a role to an actual person or, again, a placeholder to hold space for future projects. So it allows you to better forecast, understand, what capacity will look like, what your workload currently looks like, and then make sure we have the right people for projects. This feature is only available on Enterprise and Enterprise Plus. So if you're on Starter or Advanced, you're not going to have access to this just yet. It might change in the future. We haven't confirmed that just yet. But if you are not familiar with where to find this, you're going to come up to your resourcing tab right up here, and you're going to see the option for workload or for capacity planning. And so that's how I came in here. I just added a few projects. And so that's really easy to do. When we click on projects, just so you can see what it looks like, there we go. And we're going to add that into our project. So it'll give us a sense of like, we've got a project. How are we going to resource this project? How are we going to staff it? Do we have enough people? And so you can always come in here and you can add a person like so. That's not new. And we can either add in their estimated time. So we're going to need them for 25 hours over this couple of weeks, right? Or we can switch to percentage allocation and update that as well. But now we have the ability to not just assign a person, but add a placeholder. And so a placeholder could be a designer, like so. We can have a different job title, and then we can also have a team in which they live on. So we're going to need a designer. They're going to have to be available for, say, 10 hours during this time frame, right? That 5 days of that week. Great, but who's that person going to be? We're not sure just yet. And so what's nice now is you can transfer allocation from one of these placeholders to a person. And so I'm going to add another couple placeholders here. And that will come up in a second. And now we can, like I said, switch over from our placeholder to a person. So if I want to now transfer this over to Erica, I could do so. And it's going to transfer that time right over from that designer to the person. And so now we can get a real sense of, okay, great, we've got a person, we can fill that spot and move on with this project. So have a look at that. It works the other way as well. When we go in and add people, we can see the people and the projects that they're assigned to. We can also transfer allocation on those projects from the people view as well. So feel free to go and have a look at that. Next, we're going to look at an update that for some of you may not be exciting, but it at least shows us that Asana is committed to flexibility and meeting the teams of a wide range of customers based on feedback. And so what this is a lot of the features around compliance, security, role-based access has been restricted to just the Enterprise Plus plan. And so for a lot of teams, it's meant that they've had to go from the advanced all the way up to enterprise, right, from a licensing tier perspective, to unlock a lot of the permissions and client compliance management features. We've kind of created some middle ground here where if you're on at least the enterprise plan, right? So in that tier, you're not on Enterprise Plus, but you want to have access to just some of these features. There are now add-ons, which you can purchase. The model that Asana is testing out right now is a per person pricing model. And so rather than having to upgrade, sometimes it's better from a cost savings perspective to just create that add-on. Feel free to search these in the Asana Help Center. We can also send them out in our recap email. But if you are looking at improving your compliance management, we now have this add-on. What you're getting is included in this audit features. So you're getting the audit log API, which is something that is only available on Enterprise Plus. You're getting e-discovery, DLP integration, archiving integration, backup integration, manage workspaces, and IP allow listing or whitelisting. And so that's one of the add-ons on the permission management add-on. you'd be purchasing this label right here and getting access to better defined and managed guest roles, automatic guest removal, trusted domains, which again is an Enterprise Plus plan that is often requested, app management, mobile device management, quite a few added features here as well to improve the security and permissions um, of your Asana instances. And the last add-on here, data residency. So if you did want to house your data in another data center, you typically have to move to Enterprise Plus. But if you just want this feature, we can enable you to store your data in Australia, Tokyo, Japan, Germany, or Virginia, which is the default right now. So we can often change them depending on your request. So take a look at those. Feel free to go search them to learn more, but happy to fill in any blanks that you may have. And the last update that I want to provide you, I'm not going to demo this, but Asana has now rolled out increased role-based features for goals. So this is available on all paid plans from advanced up, because you obviously need advanced to access goals. But you can now, when adding teams or people, you can decide if they are a goal admin, having full access to change settings, modify, delete the goal, or if they're an editor, right? Pretty self-explanatory, similar to what we see at the project level, whether they can simply comment or if they can just view that goal as well. So more granular permissions are coming to all areas of Asana, it would seem. So feel free to go take a look at that. It is live now inside of your spaces. And then I've got three notable new updates for you here. One is smart chat improvements inside of Asana. Let's go back over there for a second. You've got the Stardust at the top here. And so when you click on that, it will allow you to chat. And so it takes context from whatever screen you're on. But let's just say Asana has sorted out some bugs. So no matter what page you're on now, it's going to take a deeper look at that page specifically. The problem has been that it's kind of gone to different pages, different resources, and it hasn't understood you're asking specifically about what's on the page. And so improved functionality there, where it now allows you to get better responses that are more relevant. You can look at your My Tasks. I tested this with our goals, right? And it's definitely improved. So go have a look at the smart chat inside of Asana. Your AI obviously has to be enabled. AI Studio Plus can now be purchased, and you can manage your credits within the admin console. And so under the billing tab, you'll see your basic access. As long as AI Studio is turned on, you'll have free access to AI Studio up to 200,000 credits per month. And so you can go and take a look at that. You can test, play, and develop use cases for even using the AI. And if you find that you do need more credits, you want to go up to the next tier, which is 300,000 credits, inclusive of the free credits that you receive on the basic plan. You can make that change all on your own inside of the admin console and then manage your credit usage. You can see who's creating these rules, how many times they're running, and you can see what the credit consumption looks like. So you can have conversations with the people that are not managing correctly. But if you have any questions or thoughts on credits or AI Studio, we're always here to support. My third and final notable new update is Zoom Transcript summary automation. So there was a deeper partnership with Zoom that was announced a few months ago now. What this allows us to do is when Zoom is connected to a project and a task, your action items can automatically go into that project. But now we've taken it a step further where you can now reference that Zoom integration in your AI Studio workflows to generate better summaries, create follow-up tasks after the call was recorded. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, AI Studio, when you build it, you can give it permission to access certain tasks, projects, portfolios. You can now have it consider the Zoom integration when you're building your rules out. So some things that you're definitely going to want to check out if you find that you're missing that functionality and it's relevant to you. we're going to close it out there. Everyone, thank you so much for attending another monthly webinar. If you have any questions or, again, want to book a demo, feel free to let us know. And thanks, as always, for being here with us. We'll see you next month. Bye for now.